This is a story of how I created a symbol to unite the world. Yes, the world. Or hopefully a few people. So this channel will be about, in numerous parts, my story on using a symbol to unite people in supporting equal opportunity for prosperity. It'll be about what this symbol means, why I think it's so important, the issues it addresses, and also what the I for We initiative is about. How I created the I for We initiative, what all it does, all I intend for it to do. Pretty much no one, except for a few people, knows that I've been working on this for years. Just could never get myself to tell friends and family. Yeah, I stopped working, dropped out of a PhD program to work on a symbol to unite people in supporting equal opportunity for prosperity.
I don't think I'm crazy.
I just sincerely believe in what I'm doing and its potential to raise awareness about the issues. Anyways, without further ado, this is part 1. So in 2014, I was in graduate school working on 2 masters, one in economics, the other international affairs, when one day it kind of hit me. At the time, I felt that the biggest issue in the world that affected most all other issues was our extreme wealth inequality. It was an issue I felt impacted either directly or indirectly most every major global issue. But I was like, we have other symbols to unite people for amazing causes, right? We have the rainbow flag, the BLM fist was emerging, symbols everywhere that unite people for great and sometimes not so great things. But I was like, why is there no symbol to unite people in fighting our extreme wealth inequality? You know, there was the Occupy Wall Street movement in 2011, but no real symbol came from that. So by just some, let's call it a fortuitous happenstance, because of the grad programs I was in, I encountered many different currency signs. The rupee, the yen, the euro, the franc, etc., etc., etc. And I noticed that either some of them were letters, or they could be rearranged or manipulated to become letters. So I went through every currency sign that existed, literally every sign, rotating, flipping, transforming them until many months later, I finally came up with these 8 currency signs: the rupee, the euro, the cent, the yuan, the franc, the dollar, the taka, and the yen, used by 96 countries and over 4.6 billion people, and I arranged them to spell the word equality. Now this is not at all what it looked like originally. It would actually take me years and hundreds of iterations before I finally settled on this. Now originally I was concerned that this looked like a symbol to represent support for wealth equality, meaning everyone should have the same wealth. But that's not something I am a proponent of, nor did I want it to represent. I had to dig a lot deeper to discover that this is a symbol that supports equal opportunity for prosperity, which is even better than a symbol that only represents reducing wealth inequality, but that's for another video. The symbol has a couple main interpretations, both revolving equal opportunity for prosperity, and I'll elaborate on all of this in part 2, which will be titled The Symbol, but I'll briefly explain the interpretations here. So first, I determined a currency sign not only represents individual wealth, but societal wealth. Societal wealth meaning, on one hand, the funding that is put towards things like organizations, programs, institutions, and individuals that give people an equal opportunity to live a prosperous life, however you want to define prosperity. Just being informed, thriving, treated fairly, being happy, or whatever suits your fancy. On the other hand, societal wealth can also mean the ability to prevent the influential power of money from keeping laws and policies from being created and applied fairly or equally. Now, on the third hand, admittedly, the looser interpretation of societal wealth can be giving everyone an equal chance of living a prosperous life through the equal application of laws and policies, whether or not the influence of money is involved. So when you have currency signs representing societal wealth, and using those signs to spell equality, a symbol is created that represents equal opportunity for prosperity. The second way a currency sign can be interpreted is as a representation of individual wealth, which can mean a couple things. So for one, most obviously, individual wealth can represent the amount of money and assets that an individual has. But individual wealth can also be a representation of merit. Merit being things like the hard work, education, innovation, or contribution to society by that individual that enabled them to acquire their wealth. So using currency signs then as a representation of both individual wealth and merit, and using those signs to spell equality, then produces a symbol that supports meritocratic-based wealth, meaning everyone should have equivalent wealth when they exhibit equivalent merit. And when a society or economy is engaged in allowing for meritocratic-based wealth, this is another form of providing equal opportunity for prosperity. Now, I admit, my interpretation of these currency signs are not always what they realistically mean. Like, I'm interpreting them as to what they should mean. But whether interpreting currency signs to represent individual or societal wealth, using them to spell the word equality creates a symbol that supports equal opportunity for prosperity. But this is it. This is the symbol I created to unite people in supporting what I believe in all my biases and usually unrealistic expectations of what may be possible is one of the most important issues that affects most every other issue. Providing everyone an equal opportunity for prosperity, reducing wealth inequality, providing free education and healthcare for all, fighting climate change and all types of discrimination, criminal justice reform, helping dislocated workers, social mobility, empowering unions, providing better infrastructure, merit-based wealth, reducing the power of lobbyists, among numerous other issues are all addressed by this symbol, and I'll further discuss how in numerous subsequent videos. And the symbol led me to create the I4We initiative, which does 4 main things thus far. So it uses a symbol to unite people in supporting equal opportunity for prosperity. 2, it raises awareness about the issues. 3, it will recognize others for their efforts in creating equal opportunity for people to prosper, because they, in my opinion, are the true heroes of society. And 4, a portion of any apparel purchase will go towards scholarships for needing students in developed and developing countries. As for the I4We name itself, it's actually a loosely based acronym of IFORRWII, I for We, an initiative for reducing wealth and income inequality. The original intent of this initiative, but as I mentioned before, I changed the focus of the initiative to be on equal opportunity for prosperity, but I still like the I4We name, so it's going to stay. And I'll also explain in other parts why I've been so persistent with this initiative for years, and sticking with it in part because something unconventional just needs to be done. Like in all the grad programs I was in, I fully appreciate and strongly support advanced education. But I just felt that most of the time it was academics talking amongst themselves, and they just never seemed to do enough to get all their education, all their experience, and all their wisdom out to the masses and the non-academics. It's partly why I left the PhD program I was in. I was already working on this initiative and just wanted to do something different, something more engaged with the general public, because in my mind, things just seem to be going backwards in regards to societal progress, and something totally different needs to be done. What I'm hoping the symbol does is provide a different approach to addressing the issues, uniting people with a symbol that represents what I believe, and in all my biases, may be a fundamental sameness, having an equal opportunity to live a prosperous life, however it is you may define prosperity. And truth is, and I can't emphasize this enough, you don't even have to like the symbol. Double up. You do not have to even like the symbol. Hopefully you like a little. Hopefully you love it. But it would be nice if people at some point ended up appreciating the main intent of what I'm trying to accomplish with it, which is uniting people and supporting equal opportunity for prosperity. Freaking A, that was long. That's it for now. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2, the symbol.